Hello, everybody. I'm sitting here in Warsaw in one of our newer churches with Pastor Adam. I've known Adam since he was a teenager, so we have a little bit of history. We've just spent, Adam, about 40 minutes to an hour while you've been telling us how this church, the West Church, has responded to the situation in Ukraine. We don't have time to tell you everything, folks, but I wanted to just highlight some of the things. First of all, how many people come to your church? Adults?
It's churches of 80 plus 30, 40 kids.
Yeah.
Altogether 120.
Yeah, so with kids and everything, it's about 120 people. But this church has been feeding thousands of people, literally. You've been providing housing, connecting with other groups and churches to provide housing for, again, hundreds of people here.
1,500.
1,500.
Yes.
One of the things that you were doing, can you just tell us again about transport? You, like, when Warsaw got saturated with Ukrainians and there was no more room, and we've heard a lot about the housing here, what was your response in helping them get further west?
Yeah, we didn't have to look too long for the solution. There were partners and other churches and people calling us from different countries wanting to host Ukrainian refugees.
And welcome them, yeah.
Yeah, so we quickly made this relocation team, what we called, organized tour operator, buses, couches. We organized catering for the buses. We organized stewards with the Ukrainian that can go with those people to this country. So, and with connection with our partners, we were able to, once again, I think that was 1,500 relocated.
So you arranged buses,
Yeah,
put stewards on there,
Yes.
catering, so they had something
Yeah.
to eat.
of course.
And about
That's a long trip.
and 1,500 people went to what countries did they go to?
Mainly Switzerland. They
Mainly
took
Switzerland.
The most, then Holland, Sweden, and I think some more.
Okay, so that was a huge element of what they've done here. But once again, we're just touching a few things. Food distribution. Tell us about that.
You mean the systematic job now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So we are organizing the distribution center in our shopping mall, which we are in now because our church is in the shopping mall.
Yeah.
And we have a warehouse here that works every Wednesday and helping feeding people,
Yeah.
Ukrainian refugees who are coming for supplies. And we are doing it connected to social service care center in our district, which we are front of with them. And this way we are feeding, that last Wednesday, that was 641 people in line, means more than 1,300 in families,
Yeah.
because not everybody is standing in
Right,
line
one
to take
person
the products.
comes to the
Yes, of
food.
course.
Yeah.
So that means around 6,000 and even more people monthly fed by the distribution center. But that's not the end. During the time, they are invited to our church for coffee, tea, to talk with people with their Ukrainian language.
Right.
So they are served with snacks, and that's how we get to know their stories, share the story of Jesus Christ, gospel, and just to, invite them for anything else. For example, the Ukrainian community inside our church.
Okay, and you told me that your daughter, her class at one point, you went to the local supermarket here, a large supermarket, and in 2 weeks, how much food did they collect? As people were coming through the checkout, they were making opportunity for people to donate food, actual food. What did you told me, like
every day they were able to at least have 12 carts of food and hygiene supplies,
Yeah.
which altogether, when we counted after 2 weeks, I think it was around $25,000
Wow.
equivalent. So
That's
because of their work, because of the work of the youth, and they weren't even a part of our church except our daughter.
Yeah.
And
It was from her school class.
Yes, of course. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
they were so involved. I mean, they were doing. That was perfect. I would employ them for a whole year.
Yeah.
And they just were they were resupplying our warehouse at that time, because that was the first 2 weeks of aggression,
Yeah.
of the full aggression.
Yeah.
So they were resupplying our warehouse every day, and every day during that 2 weeks, we had some kind of transports to the border or into
Yeah.
Ukraine, supplies. The people were coming with cars and asking us, do you have anything that we can take and drive there? And so we were giving it to them. So every evening it was emptied,
Yeah.
and every morning it was resupplied again.
Wow. This little church, you've been connecting with different people and organizations. The food that you've been able to collect, you've been sending transports into Ukraine.
Yes.
You told me how much you've sent?
Probably 200 tons.
About 200 tons of supplies, and this is just a small church. Adam, as we close this short little update, you were sharing with me how you began to pray at the beginning of this war and how that has changed. Can you just tell us a little bit about that?
Like everybody, we were praying for peace. Of course, strength and wisdom, how we should behave and what we should do, and choosing going 100% as a church with everything we got, canceling everything we have, just to be concentrated on this wartime. I was also praying for healing from unbelief, that peace can happen. That was my prayer.
Yeah.
There were so many people didn't want to go anywhere else. Ukrainian refugees, they say, in 1 month it will be the end.
Yeah.
It is not, and I don't think it will end months, years. It's a marathon here. Now I pray for courage, because I believe it will not stop, and it will not stop in Ukraine. But that's my own heart feeling.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I'm wrong.
Okay. Yeah. So folks, I just want to underline again, we're not hearing very much in the news, a little bit when something relatively major happens, but for our brothers and sisters here in Poland, in Ukraine, the pastors that they're connecting with over there, this is continuing, and we need to keep supporting, and we need to keep praying. So please, and share this video, pass it around, because we need to keep this word particularly before our churches. So thank you for listening, and God bless.